So today I'm going to be ranking every single tower and hero in btd6, and yeah, I might have some controversial opinions. Alright, first, Quincy, son of Quincy. He's going in S tier. Hear me out. Quincy is your first hero you'll get in the game, and he can pop every single type of balloon, and he's quite cheap. I'm gonna rank these on like how cheap they are versus how strong they are, so the cheaper it is and the stronger it is, the better it is. So like, he can pop every type of balloon, he's quite cheap, so more often than not you can get him as your first tower in chimps or something. So that's why I'm putting him in S tier. Let's get the heroes out of the way first. Pat Fusty next. That's not Pat Fusty. Pat Fusty. Pat Fusty is decent. He's quite slow, but he can pop lead balloons, and he has that Moab squeeze ability. So I'd say Pat Fusty, he's at least, let me grab him, in A tier. Benjamin. Benjamin makes you a lot of money. But outside of that, he doesn't really do much. His abilities are like mid at best, but he does give you a lot of cash, so I'd say he's at least a B tier. Captain Churchill. Captain Churchill is quite the expensive hero. I'm pretty sure he's one of the most expensive ones in the game, but he is insanely powerful and is also capable of popping every single type of balloon. So I'd say he's also an A tier. Azili? Okay. Azili is actually quite a good hero.
You serious?
I think the reason you're not doing well with her is because you're bad. She can buff unpop balloons from, where is he? The wizard monkey, the necromancer path right here. She makes them stronger. She's capable of popping every single type of balloon with her ability, and her Moab Hex can pop BADs at level 20. So Azili is also an A. Gwendolyn, I mean, she's alright. Not the best hero, but also not quite a bad one. She could pop lead balloons. Not very good against purples or camos. Her damage is decent. I'd say she's also a B tier. Oben. To be honest, I don't really use Oben that much. But he can pop leads, and he buffs like all magic monkeys. Like, he's insanely powerful if you use him with like the right strategies and stuff. Like, I've used some Oben strategies that were just absolutely overpowered. So I'm putting Oben in S tier. Striker Jones. He buffs like mortar monkeys and bomb shooters, but he's kind of bad. I don't really ever use him, and strategies I have used him in, they like weren't that good compared to like Oben or like other heroes. I'm putting Striker in like D tier. Adora. Adora's also just okay. She buffs Super Monkey's top path. So if you're trying to do like a true sun god or something, I'm pretty sure she makes him super good. But that's pretty expensive. So, I mean, if you are getting true sun god, you're probably not worried about money or anything. I don't really use her that often. Her abilities are quite powerful though, but she is also quite an expensive hero, so I'm putting her in C tier. Geraldo. Now Geraldo, he's overpowered, okay? His shop items are so strong, he can like literally solo chimps by himself on the right map. Like, I've used him in 2 tower chimps. I haven't done 1 tower chimps with him, because I don't want to sell my soul for that, but his shop items are literally so powerful, he can pretty much just solo the whole game. S tier. Sada. Sada is kind of like Quincy. She's quite cheap and has the potential to pop every type of balloon with her abilities. Her attacks are quite strong, and she even has that like Moab leak. So, I'm gonna put Sada in S tier as well. Captain Brickle. Captain Brickle is sort of like a very specific hero. Since she can only go in water, she's only really good in water maps. Not to mention her abilities and stuff buff water towers, which can be quite powerful. I don't use her too much. She's fun to use like when you do actually have a quite big water map for her to have all her towers. So I'm going to put her in B tier as well. Antonin is quite powerful, and his ability to just give every single tower on the map camo sight is absolutely overpowered. And his drone strike ability, ooh, it's so nutty. I'm gonna have to put him in A tier. He's just so good. I'd put him in like S tier or something, but he is quite expensive. You can also see through walls, which is pretty good. And I think the last one here is Sai. Sai is going in F tier. He is absolutely garbage. He's so expensive. His attacks are slow. He can pop like camos and leads, but oh my god, is it kind of dreadful. His abilities can pop Moabs once you get to a high enough level, but unlike Azelis, it doesn't work on bads, and it's kind of slow. He's just so bad, bro. He's going in F tier. Alright, time for the towers themselves now. Let's just get the beast handlers out of the way. That's not the beast handler. Where did I put him? There you go. They're all going in S tier. I know they've been nerfed, but I've still used them recently after the nerfs, and they're still so overpowered. They're like expensive, kind of like paragons, but like if you're using them, you should have the money. And even if you don't have farms, they can still be so strong. So they're all going in S tier. Let's just pick a random one. Crossbow Master. Crossbow Master is quite cheap, and with the monkey knowledge you can have 2 of them, and he can pop every single type of balloon as well. He's just such a good tower. I don't know if he's quite S tier, because he's not the strongest thing, but since he's cheap and really powerful, I'd say he's like at least an A tier. Like if I had a tier in between S and A, he would be there, because he's just so good. Let's just do the other dart monkeys. Where are they? Juggernaut. Okay. Juggernaut is quite alright. He can pop every type of balloon too if you cross path him with camo. But his attacks aren't that strong. If you put him on last, he's quite okay. But he's just not that good. He is quite cheap, so I will put him in C tier for that. But if he wasn't that cheap, I'd definitely put him in D tier. Where's the last dart monkey? Here we go. Apex Plasma Master is an insanely strong T5, but is way too overpriced. I like never use him just because of that, but if you actually use him, like if you have the money to get him and you use him, you'll see how actually very strong he is, but he is way too overpriced. So I'd say he's like C tier or D tier. I'm gonna be generous and give him a C tier. He's kind of underrated, but he's just way too overpriced. Alright, let's do the bomb shooters next. Let's just move them all, clump them all up together. That's not the bomb shooter. That's also not the bomb shooter. Bomb shooter. I don't know what this one's called, but it's like bottom path, I think. It's quite good. Those cluster bombs it shoots out are very powerful and can pop a lot of balloons, especially if you have like the T4. It just kind of destroys round 63, so I'm putting it like in B tier. It has that ability where if you leak lives, it shoots stuff all over the place. It's okay because, you know, you have to leak lives, so it's not that good, but you know. Moab Eliminator. I mean, it's alright against boss events and really strong balloons, but I don't use it much. It's like the cheapest one out of all of them, it's like at least a C tier, maybe D tier. Moab Crush, whatever this is called, something like that. I never use it. It can stun Moabs and stuff, and when I have used it, it's actually pretty good against challenges and stuff. I don't know. Till proven otherwise, it's like a D tier. Alright, let's do the glue gunners next. I have one here. Here's the other one. That's not the glue gunner. Let me grab him! Right here, glue gunner. There he is. That's not him! Glue gunner. Alright. Glue Storm. He's actually quite good. And he's cheap. And his ability will like weaken balloons and stuff. He's definitely like B tier. And that's being like, you know, not very generous. I don't use him too often. But I say he's like, he's also like Crossbow Master, where he's like in the middle, but I say he's like the lower part of the middle. Bloon Solver, I'd say he's like, probably like S tier or something. He is so powerful and quite a cheap tower. Like, he shreds balloons. Oh my god, it's crazy. Moab Glue, I say he's also B tier. He can really slow stuff down, and it's quite good. Especially if you can give him a village to let him see camos. Ooh! It is quite good. Alright, let's do Ice Monkey next. Because we already have that guy here. Alright, Absolute Zero. I mean, just like his other paths, he can put monkeys on water that can't normally be on water, which is quite useful. Not to mention his ability will slow stuff down. In terms of damage, absolutely garbage, but his abilities and stuff make him okay. I don't really use him that much. When I do, he's alright, especially against round 63 and stuff. I'd say he's D tier, probably. Super Brittle. He like debuffs the balloons or something. Like if I'm going late game, I'll get him because I think he's doing something good, but it doesn't seem like he does much. I can't tell the difference. I'll put him in C tier because he's theoretically good because of his weakened balloon thing, but I just don't see it when I use him. Just straight up. This is definitely the best out of all of them. And if you cross path it with top path, he can see camos too. So he's like the absolute answer to DDTs because he can just slow them down. Oh my god, this guy's so good. Especially mixed with Crossbow Master, can make a pretty good strategy. He's going in A tier. Alright, Boomerang Monkey. Right here. Alright. Moab Domination, I believe it's called. It's quite expensive. And it doesn't send that much stuff back. I'd say its T4 is honestly way better because it's not as expensive and you can get a lot of them to just slow those Moabs back by sending them back. It is quite powerful because of its Moab send back, but it's honestly a B tier. Permacharge! Permacharge just might up straight up. What did I even just say? Might up. It might just be S tier because it's just that powerful. Like you cross path that with the glaives and then give him like an alchemist or something, and he like absolutely shreds Moabs and stuff. Really good for chimps too because he's not that expensive. Glaive Lord. Oh my god, I wish he was better because he's definitely like the coolest looking out of the three, especially since he gets like those camo seeing glaives that just spin around him. But he's so like he's kind of weak, which is sad, but I'm gonna put him in B tier. Blade Maelstrom. It's very cheap. Like it is so cheap for a T5 that's that good. Its ability also pops leads, I think. So for its affordableness, it is just quite amazing, I'd say. I don't really ever use it because outside of its ability, which does come off a cooldown very quickly, it's like not the best, but it is so affordable and can help against like Bloonarius's balloons he shoots out. So I'd say he deserves like a B tier at least. But it's not the best T5 out of all of them. I'd say definitely the Inferno Ring the best. But it is very powerful and shoots so quickly, like oh my god. It is quite good. I'll put it in A tier. And then we have Inferno Ring, who is definitely the best out of all of them. His like fireball it shoots out can hit camos. He does a lot of damage, just straight up. I'd say, ooh, is it S tier? It is very expensive, but it's so good for that price. Oh, is it S tier? Is it S tier? I don't know. I'm just gonna put it in S tier because I really like it and it's quite powerful. Alright, let's just move over to Magic Monkeys. We'll start with the Wizard. One of the best Magic Monkeys, I'd say. Probably just one of the best towers in the game. It's really powerful. Where's the last? Necromancer. Ooh, especially when you get Azili's buffs for his balloons, he becomes quite powerful. The only problem I have with him is he can only bring balloons back from the dead if they get popped. So against Moabs and stuff, especially like BADs, he just doesn't shoot out that many undead ones, and if he runs out and he's like your main source of damage, he kind of gets screwed up. But aside from that, he's really good. He's not that great late game because there's just way too many Moabs, but throughout your game, and since he's so cheap, I'd say he deserves like A tier, borderline like S tier. Wizard Lord Phoenix, he is very powerful, like so much damage, but so expensive, and honestly kind of a letdown for how much how expensive he is. Definitely the strongest out of all of them, but that price tag, man, this is where price tag actually really puts a tower down. I'd say he's like, I think almost like C tier because of that like huge price tag. He's going S tier because he's almost like a Paragon, because he gets the shimmer from this guy, and then he also shoots out fire like this guy, and he has so much range and does so much damage. He's like, and he's cheap. He's like slightly more expensive than the Necromancer, but way cheaper than Lord Phoenix. So he's definitely going S tier. Ninja Monkey. Ninja Monkey's gonna be a hard one to place, because Ninja Monkey is quite good, but its T5s just kind of aren't. Like, this one is very powerful, but you need like Shinobi tactics to actually make it like to its full potential, and I don't really like using Shinobi tactics because you have to get so many. Like, you need like 20 to max it out. Like with the Druids, you only need like 5, so it's actually good. You have to put like so many Shinobi tactics around him, and it's just so annoying. But his T4 is really good, even without Shinobi tactics. It's like not as strong as him, but since it's so much cheaper, that's good. So if we're going on like T4, I'd say A tier, but his T5 is like C tier. Sticky Bomb is also the same thing. The T4 is good, but like once you upgrade it to the T5, it's stronger, but it's just like not by a lot. Doesn't feel like a lot anyway. And I rarely use Sticky Bomb outside of like boss events, because like B tier just for boss events. The Saboteur, Master Saboteur. I never get this tower, even though his like sabotage ability is quite good, and he also buffs the other ninjas, I'm pretty sure. I should probably use him more actually. So he's like the weakest out of the 3. Like his damage is like nothing, it feels like. So C tier probably. You know, we were just talking about the Druids a second ago. Let's get them out of the way. This is where Oben is so good. He gives special buffs to all of these guys, and they become so powerful when you're using Oben. So we're just going to talk from like an Oben standpoint, because Jesus Christ. Actually S tier. He puts all those brambles on the track, and it is really freaking powerful. Especially if you cross path him with the lightning. He does so much damage against Moabs. It is so powerful. Pop Lust, to be honest, probably S tier. If you give him like the little guys around him, he is so powerful. Like genuinely, I don't know if you guys have used this tower that much. I thought it was honestly pretty bad until I actually used it one time, and it does so much damage, even against like boss balloons. Like if you're struggling on like a basic one like Bloonarius or Lich, use because it is really powerful. Druid of the Storm is probably the strongest out of all of them, but he is so expensive, Jesus! But he sends those balloons back too. I'm not going to put him in S tier like his fellow friends, probably A tier just because of that ginormous price tag. But he is so strong, Jesus Christ. Let's do Alchemist. Alchemist is probably like the weirdest of the three. Alright, Brewmaster, instant S tier. I usually never get his T5, but his T4, those buffs are so good. He just buffs like every tower, makes him way stronger. One of the best towers in the game. Drip Master, he's so interesting. He like turns balloons into red balloons and makes you money. He gets like so many pops when you put him down, but like I don't even know how strong he actually is, or even how much money he makes. He's such like a gimmicky one. I want to put him in like C tier, but like he is probably a lot better, so I would put him in like B tier or something. I'll put him C tier. Transformation. It's just like Fan Club, you know, Pras Master, where it transforms like monkeys around him into like, you know, the special version. I don't really ever use it. It's quite okay. It's alright. And especially Unstable Concoction, like that's like the tier 3. It's just really powerful at stopping balloons. I'd say B tier? C tier? I really don't know with this guy. I say he just sits a comfortable C tier with his friend. Super Monkey. Oh, Super Monkey. What an interesting tower. It is expensive. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. It is so freaking expensive. Like most expensive tower in the game, outside of like Paragons and stuff. And that's why I usually don't use them outside of like going really late game. But let's see. The robot. Ooh, he is quite good, especially with his ability. I'd say B tier. Batman. Also, probably B tier. He is so... maybe A tier almost. No, B tier. He's definitely so powerful. Like, his attacks do so much damage. And he can send balloons back. But he is so expensive. Like, Jesus Christ. True Sun God. Definitely C tier.
No! It can't be! No!
Almost D tier almost. He's super expensive. He's only good if you get the right sacrifices, which is just even more money. Like, oh my god, no. And then if you're trying to do like True Sun God, you gotta get these guys too and sacrifice them, and it's just so expensive. Ugh. No. C tier. You're lucky I didn't put you in D tier because Jesus. Alright, looks like it's time for military monkeys. Let's get the sniper monkey out of the way. Sniper monkey? Honestly, like, really good tower. He can see the whole map. So, if there are balloons all the way over here and he's all the way over here, he can hit them. So like, Cripple Moab. He does like way more damage than main Moab, but like main Moab is probably like why you're getting him. So you can stun him and stuff. I don't really get that T5 much. But for the Moab stun, I'd say he's like A tier. Not S tier, A tier. Elite Defender. Ooh, he doesn't do a lot of damage. He's like all about his speed, like, I gotta go fast! And it's alright. He's very cheap, that's mostly why he's good. Why I say C tier. Elite Defender, well no, he's Elite Defender, he's like Elite Sniper. Very strong. He also gives you those cash drops. Wanna put him like B tier? B tier. He also gives other Sniper Monkeys Elite Targeting, which is sometimes better than like putting them on strong. So I put him B tier. D tier is like probably the safest option for him. Let's do the monkey subs. The submarines. Oh yeah. This one, probably my favorite path for him. Quite good. He buffs other subs that are like his path, I think. And he does a lot of damage. He's also cheap, especially if you have Brickle buffing him too. He's definitely A tier. First Strike or something like that. It's quite expensive and his ability is alright. It does a lot of damage, especially if you can spam the T4s. I'd say B tier. What this guy's really good for is slow or like speeding up ability cooldowns. Like when you get him, all your abilities are like half as long. And he can also get rid of the camo on things. So I'd say he's also A tier. Not as good as like this sub, but like better than that one. Let's do Monkey Ace. Very strong tower. What's this one called? I actually don't remember. It's like the Flying Fortress, I think. It is quite expensive. Oh my god, it is so expensive. But it is so powerful. It can pop every type of balloon, and it just absolutely shreds stuff. I almost want to put it in S tier, it's so powerful. I think it's definitely an S tier tower. What's this one called? Dartstorm? Dartstorm, I think. Once you get it to like its T4, it's really good. Like T3 and like T2 is all like garbage. Like doesn't hit anything at all. But once you get like T4 and Tier 5, it's really powerful. It also shoots out like bombs, I think, that hit Moab. So definitely A tier. Also, if you're wondering, I'm not putting these in any specific order. Like, since this is higher up than this, that doesn't matter at all. This is just the order I'm doing them in. Sarbomba, I say like the weakest out of the bunch. Not like weakest in terms of damage, but like its ability is the only thing that makes it good. And its ability is quite good, but it's just like this sub, where you only get it for its ability, and like nothing else. Definitely B tier. Let's stay to the skies and do the next flying tower. The Heli Pilot. Support Chinook. It's okay. It's very okay. It gives you lives and also money, and then you get the little sniper guy. I'd say it's more of like a support tower than like anything else for its cash, and moving around towers is its like main gimmick. Like you can pick them up and move them somewhere else, which is really useful. Its damage is like never why you get it. It's all for its like support stuff. And you can also get Monkey Knowledge, which lets you pick up a tower and then shoot out of it. Like then you can move the plane and then your tower will shoot out of it. In terms of support, it's definitely like B tier, A tier ish. I'd say it's B tier, but definitely a high B tier. In terms of damage, it's like D tier or something. But because it's so useful, it's definitely B tier. I don't even remember what this one's called. It's definitely very alright. It's just damage, pretty much. It just does good damage. It's definitely just the most like, this is an okay tower sort of thing. It's just okay. Like it's not bad. It's not very good. It's just alright. The most B tier tower we find so far. Nothing special. Nothing bad either. Apache Prime is so powerful, actually. So much damage. It's kind of insane. It's kind of like this one, where once you get to like its T4, it becomes really strong. T3, Tier 2, all that stuff, just kind of garbage. But when it gets T4 and up, it becomes so strong. Definitely A tier. Let's do the boat. The Monkey Buccaneer. Alright, definitely like A tier. I'm putting so many towers in A tier, but it's definitely an A tier tower because it makes you a lot of money. Probably makes you like the most money out of like most towers. I might even like put it S tier because of how much money it makes. But it's kind of alright. Makes you money. It also attacks, unlike banana farms, but you know, you have to fill up the seas with it. It's okay. Pirate Lord. He can hook in a lot of balloons, and like he's the main reason the Paragon is like the best one. It's not my favorite Paragon, but it's like the strongest one out of all of them because it can just eat BADs.
Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice.
But in terms of an actual tower himself, he's kind of disappointing. Nowhere near D tier, but definitely like C tier. But you can like put towers on top of it. You see those little pads right there? Towers can actually sit on it if they're small enough. And it does a lot of damage. I think it's like... Is it S tier? I don't know. Is it like S tier? As you see, like it's too strong to be like A tier, right? I'd say he's like S tier, but just barely S tier. Yeah, let's move it. S tier, but just barely S tier. Mortar Monkey? Mortar Monkey. Probably one of the most interesting towers in the game for just how like mid it is. It can hit anywhere on the map, but it's so like you have to be in the correct situation on the correct map in like the correct time for them to actually be at their full potential. Because if you're on any old map, they just won't do that good. But let's just say we're at our most optimal moment with these. I'd say this guy, he attacks really fast. Probably like my second favorite out of all the paths. Definitely like a B tier, especially with his ability. Bernie stuff. He's so strong. Like he gets a lot of pops, but he just doesn't feel like he's doing that much damage. C tier. This one, definitely the best out of all of them. He's the only one I'd say is like an actual tower you should use in a strategy. Maybe even S tier? On a good day, he's definitely S tier. On a bad day, A tier. And since most days are a bad day, he's being A tier. The Dartling Gunners. One of my favorite towers in the game. Like, in btd4 and btd5, they were definitely my favorite towers. There are just so many good ones in btd6 that I'm just like, they're probably not my favorite anymore. But definitely still, like, mainstays of the series. Ray of Doom. Ray of Doom is absolutely incredibly expensive, but is incredibly strong. Like, I'd say he's the only one where the price is actually kind of justified. I would say S tier, but I don't know. He kind of falls off, like, after, like, round 100. But outside of round 100, he is just tears up everything. If you can get him before round 100, he kind of just solos the game. If the map is too short, he definitely won't, but like, he can solo till round 100. Even on like harder maps. So definitely A tier. He could be in S tier, but he's definitely like an A tier. But he could be in S tier any day. This is like the tower something. Tower gunner something. I feel like he's very underrated. People say he's quite bad, but he's very good. Like, he does decent damage. His range is like not that good. Like, he can't hit across the entire map like the rest can. But he can, he's just really good. And you don't have to target him. His special thing is that he'll actually chase balloons. So he's definitely A tier as well. Not as strong as Ray of Doom, but since he's not as expensive, he's the cheapest one out of all of them. And his damage is good. He's going in A tier. This guy. Ooh. He only really shines in boss events and late game because he does so much Moab damage, but his actual damage against balloons is so garbage. So if you just invest in him, he will not protect you. And which is kind of crazy because his his T4 is really good against balloons. It's just kind of crazy. I say definitely B tier. If we were ranking this on boss events alone, then he'd be like S tier. And this guy would also be S tier, but he's B tier. Because outside of boss events, he's just kind of really bad. Let's do Village. Let's do Village. Village is really interesting, I'd say. Like, my opinions on Village. Very interesting. Alright. This one, Monkey Town, I think. It's definitely the worst out of all of them. It doesn't really buff stuff. If you're getting this, it's because you want to put banana farms into it. How it works is like once you get it, all banana farms around it get sucked in, and then it will make the money equivalent to those banana farms. So for banana farms, it's A tier. Outside of banana farms, it's like discount or whatever. Everything else it's trying to do is just okay. But because of the banana farm thing, it's A tier. Middle Path Village, it's just straight up the best one out of all of them. It gives all towers just so many buffs, and its ability just makes every tower on screen just go super fast. So it's S tier. It's quite expensive. Oh, I moved him. Where was he? Was he in B tier or A tier? Oh no, I don't remember. I think he was B tier. No, that doesn't feel right. I think he was I said he was A tier. I think he was B tier. We'll just stick him in B tier because that's kind of how I feel about him. But this is definitely S tier. And also, if he wasn't in B tier before, just ignore it then. And the primary expertise, it's the only village that can actually do damage. But honestly, the T5 isn't even why I like it so much. It's the T4. It gives so many buffs to primary towers and makes like any primary tower strategy tear up. And its attacks are really good. I say it's also S tier. S tier for primary strategies. Banana Farm. I'd say it's the most unanimous. Like, every single one of them is S tier probably, just because they make you so much money. They're quite expensive, but they like pay themselves off, so it doesn't even matter. Like, if you want to go late game or get a Paragon or anything, you're going to need each T5, and they kind of work in tandem. So, they're definitely going S tier. Oh no, I moved him. He was B tier. I know he was B tier. Such a B tier tower. Alright, S tier Banana Farm. Oh, now we're getting down to the wire. We're almost finished. The home stretch. Alright. Engineer. The trap? Big trap? So freaking good. Okay, he can suck up Moabs, and he makes you money. Like, if you get 4 of them, they can just solo until you can sell them and buy a big trap, and just, it is so freaking powerful. And it gives you so many pops too, because it just eats up all the freaking Moabs. Doesn't work on BADs, but it's so powerful. I'm actually kind of sad that the Paragon doesn't even give you a trap. Like, what if the trap could eat BADs? That would be so awesome. Definitely S tier. Overclock. Oh, it is so expensive, the T5. But his buffs are quite good, especially for boss events and for a super late game, but he's so expensive and you're never going to get him outside of super late game and boss events. Just straight up, you're never going to get him. So he's definitely B tier. Good, but like, you're never really realistically ever going to get him outside of boss events. Sentry Champion used to be called Sentry Paragon, but they added Paragon, so he's not called that anymore. His damage is really good. So powerful. And he's the cheapest one out of all of them. Definitely an A tier. Not S tier like the Trap, because he doesn't even make you money or stuff. Definitely A tier though. The Spike Factories. I have half a mind to just put every single one in S tier. It's probably my favorite tower, because it's just so powerful. Permaspike is the cheapest, I think. And it destroys everything pretty much. You just put that at the end of the track and DDTs and stuff just don't even work anymore. Especially if you use the Alchemist to give it camo. Or not camo, lead popping power. It just destroys everything. Super Mines, it also destroys everything. The only problem I have with it is it's so expensive. But it is the most one-to-one thing. It does like billions of pops every time something blows up. And it's like expensive, so it's like actually a good trade-off. You don't get it that much, but it is so powerful when you do get it. This is the only outlier. He's probably A tier. His ability is really strong, and he shoots out every like so often. But definitely A tier. Not as good as the fellow Spike Factories, but definitely has a mainstay in A tier. And there we go. This is my... Let me zoom out if I can. There you go. This is my tier list. The biggest one is actually S tier, which is kind of surprising. Yeah. I feel like I'm the only person who actually kind of like gives some of these towers a chance. Like, a lot of people just brush off like the other Alchemist pass, put them like in F tier instantly, but they're actually quite good if you use them properly. Or how they like brush off Azili when she's actually one of the better heroes. But Sai, he deserves his place in F tier, okay? I'll link this down in the description so you can make your own version of it. And have a great day. I'll see you guys later.
Trading with Bloons.